Well, it's been a couple of weeks since we've stood at this spot right in front of our retaining wall. This retaining wall was poured about a week or so ago, and it's got a nice curve to it. And I want to point out one feature that's very difficult to do, but they did a great job of it, and that is that it's just like they popped a line from the very top to the bottom. They sloped it and curved it at the same time. Now this is inside of curved form, so it's very difficult to do. But that's the importance of hiring people who know what they're doing, have their methods down, and you can trust them to do the job right. Now here's another shot of the retaining wall, and notice how straight as an arrow that is. They absolutely did a great job with that retaining wall. All right, we're on the left-hand side of the house. This is the master suite foundation. This is, I'm looking at the back wall. That's the backyard back there. This is our house. And here's our gas meter. That's our reference point we've been using. And you can see our slab is now poured. Now, what's interesting about this is that I'm going to point the camera there. I'm going to come out here and show you something. I'm standing in the basement of the master suite. To the left of me is the original house. Our customer would like for us to have a large opening between the new basement and the old basement. It's going to be a finished area, and adjoining the two areas is going to really work for their family. So we got a little problem to work out. We've got 3 stories of brick here, and we've got to hold that brick up while we create an opening here. It's kind of like if you remove the bridge, what holds up the cars? So we've devised a method of doing that, and that involves placing a couple of beams on the outside, a couple of beams on the inside, bolting them together like a brick sandwich, and by a friction fit we're going to ensure that the brick above us doesn't fall out. When we remove the brick down below it, remove that door, remove the window, and then come back in and have a permanent support in afterwards. This is our beam up above where I was just standing, and it spans all the way from the back wall of the basement and goes all the way to the front wall, almost to the front wall corner. And underneath here is the window and the door that you looked at from the outside, along with this wall that's going to be removed. In the corner we also have a concrete wall. That section of concrete wall is going to be removed as well, because our customer wants to be able to walk directly through from this room into the new room, which is going to be out that window from here. Now we've been here before. We're in the kitchen, and you remember we did some work on this wall. The wall used to be right here, right where this plumbing stack is. We've relocated the wall. We did all that beam work in order to raise the ceiling in here. So now the new kitchen sink, which used to be here, is going to be right here looking out into the porch. So now we've got a whole brand new area that we're going to be using for the kitchen. In the corner here, after speaking with our customer, we're going to have a Lazy Susan, we're going to have an appliance garage, and a corner cabinet. And over here in the center, this is where the new range is going to be. The range is going to be here. There's going to be a cabinet duct cover that's going to be above the range, and then we're going to build a fur down in here in order to carry the ductwork out to the outside of the house. Then over in the corner over here, this is where the refrigerator used to be. We're going to make a larger opening into the dining room. We're going to increase that by about 12 inches and then move the refrigerator from here over to this corner. It's going to look much better. It'll be hidden from view from anyone who's in the dining room. So the new refrigerator is going to be here, pantry is going to be there, and then out in the center of it we're going to be creating an island, which is going to be their breakfast room as well as an island in the kitchen. There's going to be a veggie sink here, and there's going to be about 6 or 7, maybe 5, depends on the space, seating arrangements around this island, and that's going to serve as their breakfast room too. Then finally over here on this side, this is going to be a 4-part door. It's going to be a double French door in the center with glass here, glass over there, so there's going to be a lot of light coming in from the porch. Behind that is the pool. So this is going to be a great kitchen, and we're really looking forward to pushing this on through to completion. Here's our beam on the outside. This is the same beam we were talking about. Now it's through bolted into the beam on the interior, under which We have a brick wall with a couple of windows. All that's going to be removed eventually. But today we're also framing. You see Michael's up there hanging some joists on some joist hangers. And that beam is also doubling as a support for the second floor here, actually the first floor above the basement. And Michael is installing joist hangers to hold up the joists. I mentioned before that there was a fair amount of brick above here that we're going to be holding up with our brick sandwich, and this is the big field of brick. It goes all the way up to the roof line, which is above the second floor. And this is Marshall. He's about to hand the next joist to Michael.
I don't even know what it's called.
Michael, tell us about Bubba's nailer there. It's got a specific purpose?
It's to nail the hangers, the joist hangers, in a fashion with a row of nails, so you don't have to put in one at a time. You can just put a sleeve in and go to town. Kind of
a labor-saving device.
Yes, it is.
All right, show us how it works.
And that's it.
All right, man, appreciate it. Thank you. All right, we got Marshall at one end down there, and we got Michael nailing in joist hangers at the other end. This is Dwight. Dwight's the saw man, and Marshall just informed Dwight that his last cut was off by 1/8 of an inch, so Dwight's getting his mind right, and he's going to start doing it right. You can tell a little bit of work's been going on with our back porch here. Originally, we were going to leave the walls up and try to fit windows and doors in appropriate locations and custom fit them to the openings. But since then, after taking the walls off, we found out there wasn't any corner bracing in there, and at least not that's going to make code these days. So the decision was made to go ahead and remove the walls. We're going to reframe them to new openings and then order the windows after that. Actually, on the back side, that's where the large color sliding glass doors will be. These two big panels on each end with a big sliding glass door in the middle. And then right up here, you see that little roof element there? That was installed in order to cover up the beam between the kitchen and the porch that we've been showing you. So everything worked out very well here. Now next to the porch is where our new garage is going to go. You can see it's all graded out. We had to haul in some dirt. Dirt's been moved, and so now we're about ready to install our foundation. That'll be one of the next things that we do. Now, the last time we looked at the project from this vantage point, it was really prior to much work being done. But since then, you'll notice we've got our retaining wall in, we've got our foundation in for our new master suite, and now we're framing up the new master suite, and you can start seeing how the massing and the roof is working out. We're going to have a similar element as that over here on this side with our new garage. The garage is going to be attached with a breezeway to the house, but it's going to be a gable on the front, so the whole thing is going to have a lot of balance when we get done. The other things that are going to be going on here very shortly is on the interior. We're ready to start working on the finishes for the upstairs. There's really no reason why we can't do that. We've got some tile to be selected. We've got some paint selections to be done. So we're starting on the selection process with our customer. Then next week we're also going to be meeting with our rail contractor. He's going to come in here and talk with our customers about the selection of rails, because we're about ready to demo the old rails on the interior for the grand staircase and then put in the new wrought iron balusters. So there's a lot going on here. This is our garage slab formwork. We haven't poured the slab yet. That's about to happen. We've had it inspected, so everything's ready to go. But the slab consists of formwork around the outside. There's a footing around the outside that's poured monolithically with the slab. The slab itself and the footing just turns down into the ground. Down below here we've got 6 mil polyethylene and a 6x6 woven wire mesh right there that helps to reinforce the slab. Down in the footings there's a couple of runs of rebar. all the way around. In addition to that, we've got a little higher grade condition than we need in order to naturally flow away from here. So we've formed up a curb over here on this side and a curb over here on that side in order to make sure that we can get positive drainage away from the slab. Back here, there's going to be a powder room. That's what all the pipes are. There's a powder room back in there, and it's going to drain out to the septic system, which is directly behind there. We've already seen that in our videos. So everything is formed up, everything is inspected, it's ready to go, and next thing we'll do is back the truck up and start pouring.